Hi, I'm Kristen Martinez, developer of the Stable Leadership Model, licensed marriage and family therapist, and systems expert. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the issues that can come up during leading teams. Now, because leadership is a relational experience, we have to also look at problems on our teams as relational. And today in this series, I want to start with talking about a really big relational issue, which is triangulation. Triangulation is the concept that person A and person B team up together against person C. That is its most basic form. However, it can come really, really subtly. It's not always person A, person B violently attacking person C or bullying person C. It could simply look like person A, who's upset over a decision at work, confides in person B with the intent to get person B to also have feelings about person C. So it's not just I'm upset about this thing at work and it sucks. It's I'm so upset at this thing at work and person C is the problem. Don't you agree? Don't you agree that person C kind of did this to me? And person B then would join and say, you're right. Person C is the issue. Let's try and do something about it. This is how triangulation starts within teams. And it is a sign of toxicity in teams. So if you have team members who tend not to look inwards and introspect at themselves, or you yourself aren't looking inwards at yourself as the leader, you might have a tendency to have triangulation on your teams. So what's the fix? Well, one, I'm not going to lie to you that the fix isn't easy. Stopping a triangle that's already been formed, it requires really focused effort. So what we want to do is take that relational triad that looks like a triangle, and we want to make it visually in your head into a square. So what this does, instead of person A and person B teaming against person C, you have person A, person B, person C in the triangle with a fourth unbiased party. Now, a lot of HRs work this way, and you can lean on them to be an unbiased person within the team. Now, although that's their function, a lot of times it doesn't come across that way to team members. And if HR is present, it could cause an issue. I'm not going to lie that is absolutely a real risk that happens. However, the primary problem that's happened in the triangulation on the team is that there's a lack of accountability and a lack of transparency. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the triad that I talk about that really helps to prevent some of these relational patterns from forming, which is TAB, transparency, accountability, and boundaries. Without these three things, you're going to have a lot of these relational issues pop up. But today, when we're talking about how we are going to look at triangulation, I want you to first think about accountability and transparency. So let's say there's a particular issue that's being brought up at the current moment. Let's forget historical things. But let's say you made a leadership or management decision and people are upset and they're teaming up against you. What do? So first, take accountability for that decision that you made. Hey, let's say you're calling people into the office. That's really controversial right now. So first, you need to come to the team and say, yes, I made the decision to pull people back into the office. I made that decision because team members have been having low productivity and I'm not sure how else I can solve the problem. Now, one, you're being transparent about the actual situation that's happening. Two, you're taking accountability for your part in the decision making and the reasoning behind why you made the decision. And three is opening it up for creative problem solving to the team. So instead of having the power, you're giving power back to the team. This is a great way to prevent triangulation because then it's team-based accountability, it's team-based engagement, and it's team-based decision-making. Now, you can't always do that, or sometimes the issues are a little bit more personal than a business decision. Maybe they didn't like somebody's talking about you because they didn't like the way you looked at them, or because they think that you're against them. How do you solve those more personal issues as a leader on the team? And the first thing, and the same way as we solved it in the first instance, is through transparency. Hey, I see that you've been talking about me because you think that I don't like you. And I just want to clarify, like, that's not the case. If it is the case, then you guys need to have a really raw discussion about why and how that's playing out on the team. And that might be a discussion that I have with an HR person and make it to square. So either way, so in the instance where you bring in everybody and you have a team meeting, you're taking it from that smaller me, this person against person C into an entire group, right? So it becomes that square. You could even call that a circle if you wanted to in your head, whatever works for you. And in the second scenario, it's the same thing by calling in HR to sit on it. If you're having that one-on-one discussion is also something that changes that dynamic from this triangle. It turns it into one-on-one. Anything you can do to interrupt that triangle of a relationship is going to help interrupt the triangulation pattern within the relationship. So the top 3 things to remember about triangulation is that it's prevented through transparency, accountability, and boundaries. And one of the greatest ways to do that is through directly addressing the issue in a transparent manner, either with the person, with HR, or in a group setting. So again, this was Kristen Martinez, the developer of the stable leadership model, licensed marriage and family therapist, systems expert. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, comment, and stay engaged with my content for the next relationship problem that's going to happen on your teams. Let's problem solve together.